Dear students, in the previous video we were discussing about decomposition reaction in our body. So digestion of food is also an example of decomposition reaction that takes place in our body. The food which we eat is broken down into simpler substances. For example, starch which is present in our food, it undergoes decomposition to give glucose and other simple sugars. Proteins undergo decomposition to give amino acids. Fats and oils which we get from our food, it decomposes to give fatty acids. And finally, the energy which is required by our body to stay alive and also for the functioning of various body parts, that energy we get by the process of oxidation of glucose. So the combustion of glucose takes place with oxygen by the process of respiration, the oxygen which we inhale. Then that glucose undergoes combustion with oxygen in different body cells to release energy, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and other products are carbon dioxide and water. So here the decomposition reaction also takes place in our body. Its example is digestion of food in our body. Then we have experiments about how to perform decomposition reaction. First of all, we have taken lead nitrate crystals. So if we will take some lead nitrate crystals in a test tube and heat it, then the lead nitrate crystals will first melt and then they will decompose to give the brown gas nitrogen dioxide, colorless gas oxygen, and a yellow colored residue of lead monoxide will be left behind in the test tube. So on heating, this lead nitrate gives out different smaller compounds. This is a decomposition reaction which can be performed in the lab. Then zinc carbonate. If we take some zinc carbonate crystal in a test tube which is a white colored solid, then this zinc carbonate will decompose into zinc oxide on strong heating and carbon dioxide gas will be escaped out, and the residue of zinc oxide which will be left behind in the test tube on the heating of zinc carbonate, this residue of zinc oxide is yellow when hot and on cooling its color changes to white. Then the next experiment is about ammonium dichromate. It is a orange colored crystalline solid. When this substance is heated, then it decomposes to give a green colored residue of chromium oxide, and the gas evolved are nitrogen and water vapor. Nitrogen gas is neither combustible nor supporter of combustion. Okay, so in this you have to learn that what is the color of ammonium dichromate. It's orange colored crystalline solid, and on heating it gives out a green colored residue of chromium oxide. Then one more experiment which can be performed in the lab is of blue vitriol. Copper sulfate pentahydrate, it is also known as blue vitriol. Its formula is CuSO4.5H2O. It contains 5 molecules of water and this is known as water of crystallization. This we will study further in the next chapter, water. So water of crystallization is actually the fixed amount of water that is associated with a compound and is also responsible for the crystalline shape of that compound. So it is actually blue in color. When this hydrated copper sulfate crystals are heated, then its color changes from blue to white and it loses its crystalline shape and changes into a white amorphous powder. So once again I repeat, its color changes from blue to white on heating because 5 molecules of water, it is escaped out in the form of vapor and will get collected on the cooler part of the test tube. When this white colored amorphous copper sulfate is strongly heated further, then it decomposes to give a black colored residue of copper oxide and gases evolved are sulfur dioxide and oxygen. So this I have told you with the help of a diagram here, you can see this is a test tube. It is kept in the tilted position, and at the bottom of the test tube some of the copper sulfate crystals are there. Heat is provided at the bottom of this test tube to the copper sulfate crystals. On heating, water of crystallization will get deposited on the cooler part of the test tube, that is at the mouth of the test tube, due to which its color will change from blue to white. But when this water will condense on the cooler part of the test tube, when this water of crystallization which is escaped out in the form of vapor will again condense on the cooler part of the test tube, and if this water is again added to this amorphous copper sulfate, then its color will again change to blue. Means when to the white colored amorphous powder, when this water is again added, its color will further change from white to blue. So we can say that this is a type of reversible reaction, because when it is strongly heated, its color changes from blue to white due to the escape of this water of crystallization, water molecules, and when this water is again added to this white amorphous powder, then its color changes again back to blue. So this is a reversible process. So finally we can say that this reaction is a reversible reaction, and this is the symbol which is used to represent a reversible reaction. When blue vitriol, when the hydrated copper sulfate crystals are heated, then they give out, its color changes from blue to white, and water is escaped out in the form of vapor and gets collected on the cooler part of the test tube, where it condenses back on cooling, and when it is added to the amorphous powder, white colored amorphous powder, then on cooling it again changes into blue color hydrated crystal. So this is a reversible reaction. Then the next topic is thermal dissociation reaction. A simultaneous reversible decomposition reaction which is brought about by heat is called as thermal dissociation. Now the difference between thermal decomposition and thermal dissociation is that thermal decomposition reaction is irreversible reaction. Products do not recombine to form the original compound, whereas thermal dissociation is a reversible decomposition reaction. Let's take one example. Ammonium chloride. It is a white colored solid. When this ammonium chloride is heated, then it decomposes to give a basic gas ammonia and an acidic nature gas hydrogen chloride. As these gases reach the cooler part of the test tube, there they again combine on cooling to form ammonium chloride. So this is a kind of reversible reaction that is brought about by heat, and it is an example of thermal dissociation reaction. Then we have nitrogen tetroxide. When this is heated, then it gives brown gas nitrogen dioxide. On cooling, this nitrogen dioxide gas again changes into nitrogen tetroxide. So finally we can say that a reversible decomposition reaction that is brought about by heat is known as thermal dissociation reaction.